One of them says, let there be spaces in your togetherness. The other one says, and stand together, yet not too near together. So it's not very clear, yet not too near together.
You see, to whom is this being said? This is being said to the mind, to the personality, to the one who has a partner. The one who has a partner certainly is the one who is retaining a personality that calls for a partner. So he is carrying his own thoughts, opinions, likes, dislikes, all the traits of the personality is still in him. And so is the other person. Both of them are different beings, and that is the reason why they are requiring each other. One person requiring the other person. Getting it? Both of them still are retaining their individual characteristics. Now, when you are still a personality, and in this situation you come too close to the other, then only 2 or 3 possibilities remain. One possibility is, in order to retain your personality, you extend it and dominate the other. Because all kinds of personalities, all kinds of views and opinions demand protection. They cannot tolerate or survive their opposites. So when they come in contact with someone who does not agree to them, who does not subscribe to them, they want to have the other one be like them. You say, I think like this, I live like this, and now that you are close to me, now that you are a part of my life, you too must think like this and live like this. That is one possibility. The other possibility is, the other one somehow gathers more power over you, and the other one says, no. You see, my ways of living are superior, and I can prove that through argument, or this or that. And you live like me. And the third possibility is, these two remain in continuous friction. The game of dominance keeps continuing. Because both of them are personalities, and personalities by definition are eager to expand because personalities are insecure. Even the most liberal of personalities cannot tolerate disagreement beyond a point. So given this situation, if the two come very close together, all you will have is friction. At the level of the personality, there must be separation. And what does that mean? That means that there must be space for the two to live in their own particular universes. You live in your universe, I live in my universe, you retain your likes, I retain my likes. Because at the level of personality, anyway there is no union possible. And if you try to enforce a union, it would result in even more suffering and tragedy. You are trying to bring two incompatibles unnecessarily together. And mind you, no personality is compatible with another personality. As long as you are a personality, you cannot really be compatible with any personality. It is not a matter of type. Because all personalities, I repeat, want their own protection, furtherance, continuation. Personality is ego. So Khalil Gibran is saying, let that not come very close, which by definition cannot be close to anything else. Personality by definition is exclusive. Let your hearts be close to each other. That is the only place where a union is possible. But beyond that, do not try to have an artificial nearness or artificial oneness. Keep space. Maintain a distance. Do not start saying, I wear this way, so you must also wear this way. Because we are soulmates now, so our eating habits must match. We are together for life. So let's keep visiting wherever we go together. That cannot happen. For a while, that might work because there is the initial warmth of togetherness, but after that it will just become a cause for irritation. Is Khalil Gibran saying that you must maintain a distance with your loved one? No, he's not saying that. He's saying only that can come together which has the potential to come together. Hearts can unite. Minds cannot. To the extent you are mind, maintain distance. To the extent you are a personality, maintain a space. And to the extent you are the heart, merge into the other. Be totally one with the other. But that need not even be said, because when you are the heart, where you are the heart, union happens on its own. It is inevitable. It's like water meeting water. Just happens. The problem is when you try to idealize the situation because you have read stories, because you have watched movies, and you say that there must be convergence, oneness, unity, even in places where it is not possible. In places where it is not possible, maintain space. Maintain a dignified distance. Otherwise, you will end up exploiting the other or being exploited. As human beings, we all are very different in many ways. At the level of body, at the level of mind, we are all very different. Those differences cannot be wished away.
Every personality has a pattern. So if the other one, just as a help, starts breaking your pattern, but that would lead to a little friction as well. So what to do in that?
When the other one starts breaking your pattern, then he is not acting as a personality. Let me tell you something. Personalities are never interested in breaking somebody else's patterns. Personalities are interested only in continuing with their own patterns. In continuing their own patterns, if they break somebody's pattern, that is just incidental. That is never really their intention, because the personality can never be so compassionate. The personality is always a little reserved. a little self-involved, a little selfish. To really be in a position where you can look at the other's patterns and challenge them, you should have first looked at your own patterns and challenged them. And if you have done that, then anyway you are not acting as the personality, because challenging and breaking patterns is the work of the heart, not the work of the mind or the person. So, in the job of pattern breaking, distances are not to be kept. Distances are advisable only to personalities. The one who has now seriously entered the work of breaking patterns is no more a personality. He can deliberately reduce the distance. He can deliberately come close to the other, even forcibly, if need be. Because he is not now applying force to serve his own personal ends. He is now not coming close because his own personality is important. He is now coming close because there is something far bigger that needs to be done. Not the petty task of maintaining your petty self.
When we are saying to the extent to which is the heart,
Yes.
mind wants to comprehend this. How do I know that at this particular moment where I am?
When the mind is busy with its own mechanisms, the mind says, I do not need the heart. I am my own master. I am quite clever and smart. I do not need to listen. And when I say to the extent to which you are the heart, I mean to the extent to which the mind is surrendered to the heart. Surrendering of mind to heart does not mean anything outlandish. All that it means is that the mind has no personal agenda now. Personal agendas are there only as long as there are personal insecurities. When the mind is no more afraid, no more in the need to preserve something or secure something, then the mind is left with no personal agenda. What will I do now? Nothing of my own to defend, nothing of my own to protect. No personal needs to fulfill. What to do now? Only one thing is left then. You poke your nose in others' affairs. That is called compassion. Otherwise, you are greatly jobless. What to do? Your own shop is closed forever. So you become a consultant, advising others on how to run their own shops. Yes, please. Keep going.
Are these words only for the man who has a partner, or is it a caution to the one who does not have partner?
Everybody has a partner. There is nobody who does not have a partner. These words apply to everybody who is entering into a relationship with anyone else. And we are always in a relationship with something or somebody. So these words are for everybody. They are universal. When you know that you are selfish, why unnecessarily enter somebody's life? Don't you know what you will do when you will enter somebody's life? You will use that somebody to further your own selfishness. Is that not obvious? Is that not obvious? The man wants praise from everybody. The man marries. What will he want his wife to do? Praise him. Simple. That's it. So maintain a distance. That's why Khalil Gibran is advising, maintain a distance. If you impose too much upon your wife, then the relationship will be just this. Keep praising me. Maintain a distance. You do not yet deserve to come too close. Just maintain a distance. As long as you are not surrendered, as long as you are a mind-centric personality, Khalil Gibran is advising that you maintain a certain self-discipline. The self-discipline is, I do not deserve to go too close to anybody. That is a kind of penance. It's a kind of sadhana, tapasya. Given what I am, I do not deserve to touch somebody very deeply. I do not deserve to go too close to somebody. If I come too close to anybody, I'll just spoil the other one with my touch. Also, because I am a personality, so I am vulnerable. If I come too close to somebody, not only am I going to hurt, but I am also going to become liable to hurt. I'll cause hurt and also get hurt. So better you maintain a distance. The distance would never be likable. The distance would be a kind of suffering. But that suffering is necessary to remind you all the time that you are not close because you do not deserve to be close. You are not close because closeness is less important to you than the preservation of your personality. You wanted your personality, you remain close to your personality. You wanted closeness to your ideals, to your ambitions, then your ideals and ambitions are your beloved. You remain close to them. You do not deserve to go close to anybody else. You are married to your own thoughts and personal agenda and ambitions. Your acquired self is your spouse. Now why do you need a husband or a wife? You're all the time sleeping with your dreams and ambitions. Why do you need another person to sleep with? Even in your dreams, all you see is dollars. So you already have a sleeping partner. Why do you need a wife now? So maintain a distance. Go to the other only when you have returned to your virginity. Only when you have returned to your simple purity. Now you are fit to be close to anybody. You are surrounded by so much. You are surrounded by so much. How is closeness anyway possible? You are surrounded by a lot. The other one too is surrounded by a lot. Even if you try to come close to each other, would closeness happen? You are wearing 40 layers of protective clothing. The other one is also wearing 40 layers of protective clothing, including 40 layers on the face. So 80 layers in between you and the other person. And the two of you are trying to kiss each other. Even the cloth would not be fully wet. Forget about lips meeting lips. There are 80 layers in between. The distance is already there. Khalil Gibran is saying, acknowledge it. Do not try to enforce nearness. Because nearness is anyway not possible given what you are. Even when people become husbands and wives, do they ever drop these 40 layers of clothing? They may beget 5 sons and 10 daughters, while all the time being wrapped in their 40 layers. It is possible to biologically mate and reproduce, while mentally you have never been naked in front of the other. Mentally you have always been carrying your protective layers, your armors. But biologically you can meet and mate and beget sons and daughters. It is quite strange, you see. Being mentally exposed is so difficult that requires an innocence. Pulling down your trousers does not make you naked. Nakedness is an act of real love, real boldness, and real innocence.
Just as we mentioned about children, so is it a warning towards physical reproduction as well?
Yes, of course. Mostly our children do not arise from our love. They arise from our chemicals. And that is why the very beginning of the child's life is mired in misfortune. It is a tragedy of sorts that you can have kids even without love. It is a tragedy that you can have kids even when you are mentally yourself a kid. You have not attained to any kind of maturity. Forget about attaining to your maturity. Traveling from your birth till your youth, you have just surrounded yourself with layers and layers of more and more conditioning. And in this dirty situation, you find that your biological apparatus is all set to reproduce. and an unfortunate child comes into this world. The husband, the wife, the father, the mother are wallowing in their own darkness. And now they have this child in front of them. What do you think they are going to do with him or her? And that's the way most of us are brought into this world, and that's the way most of us are raised. Rare is the man who has ever seen his wife naked, and rare is the wife who has ever seen her man naked. Nakedness is not so cheap. Nakedness is the height of spiritual ascension. To be naked means you must have the guts to peel off layer after layer, layer after layer. Like layers of an onion are peeled off. You must be able to peel off everything and then be left with just nothing. That is when you are naked. Now that is when you get the right to bring another life into this world. After you are firstly thoroughly clean yourself, now you have earned the rights to be a parent. The funny part is, those who have really earned the rights to be a parent are hardly ever interested in now becoming a parent. They are not interested at least in becoming a biological parent. They may now start taking many people as their sons and daughters, but they do not feel the need to have a son or daughter coming out of their own flesh. So they become wider parents. They become fathers and mothers to hundreds and thousands.
That is why in the next excerpt he is saying, your children are not your children.
Your children are not your children.
They come through you but not from you.
Yes. But as long as you are the personality, it will be very difficult for you to accept that your children are not your children. Because personality always demands ownership. It is insecure. It wants to lay claim. It wants to be assured that whatever it possesses will not be snatched away. So it wants to say, my children are my children. I have a right over them. I have a right over them. Who are you? It's my family and my children and my private affair. And that's why Khalil Gibran needs to assert, your children are not your children. You were just a medium through which they came.
These were beautiful words. They come through you, but not from you.
Not from you. They come through you, not from you. आपके द्वारा आए हैं, आपके द्वारा, आपके नहीं। आप किसी द्वार से गुजर करके कहीं प्रवेश करते हो तो उस द्वार का आप पे हक थोड़ा ही हो गया। आप किसी द्वार से गुजर करके कहीं प्रवेश करते हो तो द्वार बोले देखो मेरे हैं, मुझसे ही तो निकले हैं, मुझसे ही तो निकले हैं। हाँ निकले हैं, उसी द्वार से निकले हैं, पर मूर्खता की बात लगेगी ना कि दरवाजा तुम्हें पकड़ रहा है। अब कह रहा देखो मुझसे निकले थे, मैं ना होता तो इस कक्ष में, और जो कक्ष है उसको आप संसार मान सकते हैं कि उस द्वार से निकल के आप संसार में प्रवेश करते हैं, मैं ना होता तो दुनिया में कैसे आते। मूर्खता की बात है।